Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my December book haul. I know I've been really bad at uploading recently, but you know, need some motivation and actually need to read something for that because I'm in major reading slump mode. So I hope some of these books will help me out. So I bought a shitload of books. Nothing new there, but this time is actually a shitload of middle grade books because that's what I've been feeling like I want to read maybe a little bit more in the next year and even in December. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first book is Roll With It by Jamie Sumner. This is about Ellie, and she is actually and she's in a wheelchair and she has really big dreams, but everybody kind of gets surprised by the fact that she's so all sunshine and cuddles. Really think that she's going to be in a different kind of mood just because she's in a wheelchair. She wants, her biggest dream in life is to become a professional baker, and she is practicing recipes. She's also writing fan letters to her favorite celebrity chefs and stuff like that. So when she moves with her mom to help take care of her grandpa is actually suffering from dementia, she has to start all over again in a new town. So this is a really short book. I don't even think it's 300 pages. It's not. It's 246 pages. So I could probably read this one like in a day or something. But yeah, really looking forward to reading this one. And then we have The Best at It by Malik Pancholi, and this is about Rahul Kapoor, and he is heading into 7th grade in a small town in Indiana, and he started middle grade school, and it's making him really anxious. And his favorite person in the whole wide world is his grandfather, and he gives him some well-meaning advice, which is find one thing you're really good at and become the best at it. And those 4 words kind of, you know, grow in Rahul's brain, and he is not quite sure what his special thing is. He is convinced that once he finds it, the school bully Brent Mason will stop torturing him, and he won't be worried about staring too long at his classmate Justin Emery with his best friend Chelsea by his side, and he's ready to crush this challenge but if he discovers he isn't the best at anything. So it's really cute, like sort of a find yourself kind of story. So really looking forward to reading this one as well, which is pretty much what I'll be saying about every book because I'm really hyped about this one. And then we have Stuffed by Liz Braswell, and this is pretty much about a boy having a lot of stuffed toys, and one day his mother decides that it's time for him to cleanse them out, get rid of them, donate them to some other kid that might need them more. And when all of these stuffed animals are gone, that's when Clark, the main character, realizes that the stuffed animals are actually the only ones that are protecting him from monsters. So this seems really cute. And then we have The Children of Castle Rock by Natasha Farrant. This is about Alice Misselthwaite, can't pronounce that name, has been packed off to an unusual boarding school in Scotland, and everybody at the school is talking about the Great Orienteering Challenge, where the kids are sent off unsupervised for 3 days, and Alice actually sees her chance to persuade her teamers, rule-abiding Jessie and the mischief maker Fergus, to follow her across the wild Scottish Highlands and Ireland in search of a legendary castle. So it sounds sort of adventurous, and I just really like this cover. Then we actually have a book that is not middle grade, and that is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I heard a lot about this book and it's getting quite good reviews so far. But we meet 17-year-old Rin, and her family is actually sort of in charge of the graveyard. It's their job to like dig down all of the corpses in the graveyard and stuff like that, but there's one problem, and that is the fact that the dead won't stay dead. They actually come back to life, kind of. And the reason corpses are known as bone houses, and the legend says that they are the results of this old curse. And Alice is an apprentice map maker with mysterious past, and arrives in the town, and the bone houses attack with a new ferocity, and just trying to figure out what do they have in common and why is that. And it sounds really cool concept, and I really want to figure out what the hell's going to happen. And then we have another book that's not middle grade, but it's so gorgeous, and that is this. Look at that. all the flowers and the gold edges and the back as well. So this is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which is one of my favorite classics. I've read it, I think 3 or 4 times or something like that since reading it the first time in high school. I really love this classic so much, and I have read it on my e-reader, but I don't actually own a physical copy until now. And just saw this, and it's so teeny tiny but also so freaking gorgeous, and they have a lot of classics in this edition, so I'm definitely going to start collecting them. And I think this is the Chiltern edition, and it's so beautiful. Now I just need to get the Wuthering Heights as well. Now we have one of my most anticipated releases of this year, if not the most anticipated release, and that is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. This is actually signed by the author. This is the second book in the, I want to say Skyward series, but I'm not sure. So this is why it's arrived late, because I pre-ordered it from Waterstones. So it had to ship to Sweden, so it took some time. But I'm in a reading slump, so I haven't actually finished the book I'm reading, which is like, I have like 80 pages left, and I've been reading those pages for like, I don't know, a week and a half. But I really want to pick this up in December, because I loved Skyward so much, and I just need to know what happens. But in this book we meet Spensa, and they live on a planet. But her father was actually in this sort of space force, if you will, and he was marked a coward because he ran away from battle, and it was actually killed because of it. Is to become, Spencer's biggest dream is to become a pilot just like her father, but since her father was marked a coward, it's actually not like that possible for her. But she actually gets some help to get into the academy, and shit goes freaking down, and it's so good, and it's just action-packed, and I really want to read Starsight, and I can't believe I've had it for like 2 weeks and I haven't read it yet, but I'm getting there. Then we actually have a book that I got for Christmas by my friend Jamie. Thank you so much, Jamie. And she actually managed to get it signed by the author as well. This is a hunker of a book. This is actually a Swedish sort of fantasy story, and it's called När Gudar Dör by Marcus Olausson. This is the first book in a series called Serahima Saporium, and I think it's a trilogy. Yes, it is. This one we meet Eldarim, and he is said to be chosen to fight this really awful god named Namin. But he's keep questioning why it's so hard to learn the different magics, and the prophecies are kind of so it's not really clear on anything, and Eldarim is starting to doubt everything. And who is it exactly that has chosen him, and what is he supposed to do? And you kind of get to follow Eldarim on his sort of mission to accomplish the prophecy and what's going on and everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I was really interested in it before Jamie bought it for me, which is why she bought it, I suppose. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Back to some middle grade. So we have Frostheart by Jamie Littler, and this one is about a monster-infested snow sea. Ash waits for his missing parents with only his grumpy Yeti guardian for company, and then an accident reveals that Ash has amazing magical powers, and he is whisked aboard the Frostheart and explore his sleigh with a daring crew who needs his help. Can they help Ash master his new powers and find his family? So this is a really cute cover, and it's like open like this, so it's kind of a hold there. I really want to read this one. And then we have The 12th Candle by Kim Tomsek, and this is about the 12th year being the most enchanted year of all, because it's during this time that you can harness the magic of the in-between. Right, it's about Sage, and she has been plagued by the Contrarium curse, and aka the curse of opposites. So she has really bad luck no matter what she does, while her classmate actually gets everything going her way. And Sage makes a wish on her 12th birthday to make the, curse turn around. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have A Place Called Perfect by Helena Duggan. And it says, they've got their eyes on you. And this cover is just so beautiful. And the next coming books in the series are so pretty as well. But this is about Violet, and she never wanted to move to Perfect, who wants to live in a town where everyone has to wear glasses to stop them going blind, and who wants to be neat and tidy and perfectly behaved all the time. Nobody does. Violet quickly discovers there's something weird going on in town. She keeps hearing voices. Her mom is acting strange and her dad has disappeared. When she meets Boy, she realizes that her dad is not the only person to have vanished and that the mysterious watchers are guarding a perfectly creepy secret. Dum dum dum. So this one sounds really good actually, so I really want to read this one soon. And now we have a book that is not middle grade, but this is an All-American Muslim Girl by Nadine Jolie Courtney. So we meet Ali Abraham, and she's everything going for her. She's a straight A student, has good friends, a close-knit family, and is dating cute, popular, and sweet Wells Henderson. The problem is that Wells' father is Jack Henderson, America's most famous conservative shock jock. And Ella hasn't told Wells that her family is Muslim. It's not like Alice's religion is a secret exactly, it's just that her parents don't practice and raised her to keep her heritage to herself. But as Ali witnesses ever growing Islamophobia in her small town across the nation, she begins to embrace her faith, studying it, practicing it, and facing hatred and misunderstanding for it. Who is Ali if she sheds the facade of the perfect all-American girl? What does it mean to be a good Muslim, and can a Muslim girl in America ever truly fit in? All-American Muslim Girl is an own voices, relatable story of being caught between two worlds and the struggles and hard-won joys of finding your place. So it sounds like a really important subject brought up in this book, and I really want to read this one really soon. We have Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. I actually read The Wicked Deep by her, I think last year I want to say, and I really enjoyed that one. So I really want to continue reading her books. And this is about the Walker women of Fairhaven have always lived in the woods. And some say that the first Walker women came from the forest, her bones built of roots and thorns as she spread up from the ground. This is where their legacy began, a strange and mythical legacy rooted in rumors and folklore. Over the years there have been many tales of Walker women. Most have been lost, stories forgotten, fables and myths washed away with the spring rains. This story is one such tale. It was once scattered like autumn leaves, buried in the soil, stitched there until it arose, until something stirred it loose, until the forest shuddered and opened its eyes. Sounds so good, and I really like your writing style, so something wicked this way comes. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the author of The Night Circus, which I didn't really like that much. I just thought, I like the writing style, it was just that the plot was a little bit for my taste. But this is so freaking gorgeous, and I've heard great things about this one. And it was just really the storyline that hooked me, and I really want to read it. But we meet Zachary Rollins, stumbles across a strange book hidden in his university library. It leads him on a quest unlike any other. It pages and entrance him with their tales of lovelorn prisoners, lost cities, and nameless acolytes, but they also contain something impossible, a recollection from his own childhood. Determined to solve the puzzle of the book, Zachary follows the clues he finds on the cover. A bee, a key, and a sword. Guide him to a masquerade ball, to a dangerous secret club, and finally through a magical doorway created by the fierce and mysterious Mirabelle. This door leads to a subterranean labyrinth filled with stores hidden for beneath the surface of the earth. It sounds so good, and I like stories within stories, so this is going to be such a good read, I think. I hope. And then we have Just South of Home by Karen Strong. So we meet 12-year-old Sarah, and she's really looking forward to the summer months where her grandma can't really work tired to the bone anymore, because she's overly strict and everything like that. She just wants to read her favorite science books and boss around her younger brother Ellis, but then her plans drastically change when her cousin Janie comes into town, and Janie has an kind of affinity for getting people into trouble, and she asks Sarah to take her to a Creek Church, a landmark of their small town that she heard was haunted, which is also off limits. So I'm guessing they get into some trouble. And then we have Made You Up by Francesca Sapia. I've previously read A License to Monsters by her. I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to pick something else by her. So we meet Alex, and she's constantly fighting a daily battle to decipher what is real and what is not. And after an extremely unfortunate incident, Alex is ready for a fresh start and a new school where no one recognizes her. Before she knows it, Alex is making friends, going to parties, falling in love. But her inability to separate her delusions from reality is always just under the surface, and it could have disastrous consequences for the people closest to her. I have heard some mixed thoughts about the representation in this book, so we'll see about that. I have to admit, I'm not like the most well read on the subject, but yeah, I do really want to read it. And then we have Malamander by Thomas Taylor. In this one we meet Herbert Lemon, and he is actually the one in charge of the hotel's sort of lost and found objects. He's 12-year-old, and one day he gets actually these unsolicited visitor, and that is Violet Parma, and she's a really like careless girl in his own age. She's not afraid of anything. When she was really little, she actually lost her parents at the hotel, and she's now convinced that Herbert is the only one that can help her find them. So it sounds like a sort of mysterious story, because Violet's also being followed by this man with a hook hand. So we'll see how it goes, but it sounds really interesting, and like I said, Middle grade is my jam right now. And then we have Elizabeth Webster and the Court of Uncommon Pleas by William Lashner. And this is sort of supposed to be a little bit more of a spooky read, I believe. The star swimmer, Henry Harrison, asked Elizabeth to tutor him in math, but it turns out that was actually, he asked her under like false pretenses, because he doesn't actually need help with math. He actually needs help with a flower-scented, poodle-skirt-wearing, head-tossing ghost who's calling out Elizabeth's name. And Elizabeth's just trying to figure out what the ghost is calling for her, what does he want with her, and everything like that. So we'll just have to read and find out, I suppose. And then we have The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. So in this one we meet Marinka, and she dreams of having a normal life, which is kind of hard when her house won't stay in the same place for very long. It keeps moving around with its chicken legs, and it kind of moves around without any warning. And Marinka's grandmother is Baba Yaga, who guides spirits between this world and the next. Marinka longs to change her destiny, sets out to break free from her grandmother's footsteps, but her house has other ideas. So I know there's another book in this series, which is kind of like, I think they're companion novels really. But yeah, I really like this one. This one because it's really like, I don't know, funny and different for sure, and the cover is so beautiful. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one soon. And then we have The Land of Roar by Jenny McLachlan, and it's illustrated by Ben Mantle, and it has, oh look at that, it's so cute. So we have illustrations in the book as well, which would make this one quite a quick read, I hope. Okay, so we meet the twins Arthur and Rose, and when they were really little, they were actually the heroes of this land called the Land of Roar, and that was the imaginary world that they created together. Roar was full with everything they loved, like dragons, mermaids, ninja wizards, and moonlight stallions, as well as some of the things that scared them the most. But now when the twins are 11, Roar is almost forgotten, but then strange things start happening, and Arthur begins to wonder if maybe Roar is actually a real place. So yeah, I know there was a lot of middle grade in this book and some other like sweet things thrown into the middle. But yeah, if you like this video, or if you have read any of these books that I mentioned, then don't forget to like this video and comment down below what you thought about the books you have read, or if you're interested in reading any of these books. And yeah, I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye!